A few decades ago, Marvel and Toho worked out a deal to pit Godzilla, the one and only king of the monsters, against the Avengers. Now both franchises have since split, and both are doing fairly well. This old comic got me thinking, what if these two franchises met again? Godzilla's Monsterverse, and the Avengers Marvel Cinematic Universe. In this episode, I will explain exactly what I think would happen. If this interests you, remember that there is a blog full of content like this. For all kinds of Godzilla, Star Wars, and other geek topics, go to jpzilla.blogspot.com. Now looking at these universes as they are now, this mashup would be a lot different than the first. For instance, Godzilla would not feel the need to clash against the Earth's mightiest heroes, instead respecting them and their protection of this Earth. The Avengers would probably not mess with Godzilla either, seeing how he defended the world from the Titans. The biggest Titan enemies in this universe would be King Ghidorah, and the other Titans, who could very easily turn allegiance whenever they felt like it. In King of the Monsters, Godzilla gained monarchy over the other Titans, but in this alternate universe, Godzilla would not yet be king, meaning that the things are going to start off a bit rocky. This story starts in 2012, with the Chitauri attack. This attack would throw the balance of the Earth way out of balance, with the heavy use of cosmic energy, and a hole being ripped through the fabric of reality right within the Earth's sky. I believe this would cause a massive upheaval with the Titans. Now, instead of Titans like Godzilla and the Mutos resurfacing in 2014, the Titans would awake in 2012. The Titans would rampage across the major cities, and millions would die in just a few days. Godzilla would be one of the few Titans to not rain destruction on the humans, instead protecting them from the newly awakened Titans. The Avengers would not be equipped to deal with threats at this level as of yet. Not even Hulk would be able to defeat the strongest of the monsters. Instead, Godzilla would defeat the Titans. After a year, the attacks would completely cease. Godzilla would be soon recognized as Alpha, and peace would ensue. Tony Stark would be wary of the new King of the Monsters, building several countermeasures against him, including a Mechagodzilla. In 2016, when Ultron is created and begins his reign of destruction, he would choose a different path than last time. Ultron would see the Titans as living extinction events, and all of them combined would be a bigger extinction event than even the asteroid. Ultron would use the Mind Stone to create devices that would control the Titans. He would also learn of Monster Zero, who was discovered in hibernation in 2015, just last year. Ultron would free Monster Zero, thinking that he would be able to control him. Monster Zero would resist the mind control, and begin a rampage against Ultron. Ultron would send all the Titans after him, and begin working on creating his new body. The Avengers would stop Ultron from achieving his goal, and Vision would be created like last time. But Ultron would still be out there, along with Ghidorah. Ghidorah would kill most of the awakened Titans, who are now being forced to fight Ghidorah. Behemoth and Methuselah would be slaughtered, along with Skyla. Godzilla would not be under the mind control, due to him being too fierce to implant with a control device. Godzilla would go after Ghidorah, and the two would engage in a vicious duel in New York, destroying half the city in the process. Tony would go to Godzilla and Ghidorah with his Mechagodzilla, titled Iron King. The two would overwhelm Ghidorah, who would flee. Ultron would revert back to his plan of dropping Sokovia on the Earth, seeing as his plan with the Titans failed miserably. He would be stopped like before. Over the course of the next few years, Godzilla and Mothra would hunt down Ghidorah, battling him many times but not yet defeating him. In 2018, Thanos would invade as he planned, caring not about the Titans. Things would continue like before, with Thanos collecting all the Infinity Stones except for Vision's Mind Stone. The Battle of Wakanda changes now quite a bit. Godzilla senses the extraterrestrial invasion and brings what's left of the Titans to Wakanda. Godzilla would fight Thanos, sensing that this individual was the cause of the shift in the Earth's balance. Thanos would be preoccupied with Godzilla, the two fighting for hours. Vision would escape with Shuri, who would extract the stone at another location. Ghidorah would arrive to the battle as well. Ghidorah would engage Godzilla, teaming up with Thanos to kill the Titan King. Godzilla would be battered, barely able to stand after having to contest against the power of the Infinity Stones. And Ghidorah. The Avengers would arrive to face off Thanos, giving Godzilla slight reprieve from his duel with Thanos. Mothra would sacrifice herself to protect Godzilla, dying at the hands of the dragon. Rodan would fight on Godzilla's side, as he was originally bested by Godzilla in 2012, and conceded to him there, instead of Ghidorah in 2019. With the help provided by both Rodan and Mothra, Godzilla would kill the dragon. Thanos would flee, realizing that the stone was no longer in Wakanda, making this battle useless. The stone would be provided to the Guardians of the Galaxy, who would smuggle it from planet to planet. Thor would go with them, to help ensure the stone's safety. The rest of the Avengers would stay on Earth, to help fortify for their next battle with Thanos. Tony would take King Ghidorah's carcass and turn it into a cyborg mech, named Iron Hydra. Thanos would spend every resource he has in finding the Guardians of the Galaxy, and it would only be a matter of time before he got his wish. He would capture all of them except Thor, who would overpower Thanos temporarily and just barely escape the clutches of the children of Thanos, Thanos' personal team of superpowered aliens. Thor would bring the stone to Earth, knowing that 5 years after the Battle of Wakanda, Tony would have built an adequate defense against Thanos. Thor gives the stone to Tony, who uses it to build some new weapons against Thanos. The Avengers then wait for Thanos to strike, and indeed Thanos does strike. The full force of the army of Thanos bears down on Earth, ready to crush it. The battle is vicious, with an iron army ready to defend Earth with stark weapons, and all of Thanos' army with their advanced weapons, and the children of Thanos. The Iron King, Iron Man's Godzilla mech, and the Iron Hydra, Iron Man's Ghidorah mech, take out a large section of Thanos' army. The Titans soon arrive to the fight, many dying at the hands of this overwhelming army. Every hero fights for the survival of the Earth, including Godzilla. Godzilla engages Thanos again, and soon Godzilla is aided by Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Iron Man, the Hulk, Captain America, Thor, Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Captain Marvel, as well as all of the Titans. Thanos is quickly defeated by these overpowered heroes and Titans, and Iron Man lives, not needing to sacrifice himself against Thanos. The Earth emerges stronger than ever before, with the snap never happening. The Titans now coexist with humans in true balance, with Godzilla overseeing his subjects. The Titans now support Godzilla and his right to rule, now more than ever. So this is how I think an MCU universe would look like with the Titans. If you disagree with anything in this video, or have anything to add, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out the JPZilla blog at jpzilla.blogspot.com.